Hello, everyone. My name is David, Programs and Broadcast Coordinator for Cedarwood Luxury Online Radio. Would you love to feature on any of the Cedarwood Luxury Online Radio program? Do well to reach out to us via the number right there on the screen, irrespective of who you are, what you are, where you are, and what you do. The Cedarwood Luxury Online platform is available and open to every one of you out there. So if you love to feature on any of our Cedarwood Luxury Online Radio programs, do well to reach out to us via the WhatsApp number right there on the screen, and boom, you'll be in the studio to speak with us. Do well to reach out to us now.
If you missed the early bird discount window for Billionaires Garden City by Cedarwood, well, you have another opportunity to subscribe again at 2.5 million naira, but this time to Billionaires Garden City by Cedarwood Phase 2. Same neighborhood, because Billionaires Garden City by Cedarwood shares a common boundary with Billionaires Garden City by Cedarwood Phase 2. There isn't anything much to miss, except of course the different levels of infrastructural development. But Billionaires Garden City by Cedarwood Phase 2 is located here at Ibuzo, in the amazing city of Asaba. You also get to enjoy an amazing view, and of course Billionaires Garden City by Cedarwood Phase 2 also has a registered survey and a deed of assignment, and also promises of even improved estate amenities.
You want out of life, and then going all the way to getting it is one way of ensuring you have peace of mind. Yeah, everybody needs a land that has C of O. Everybody wants C of O. Everybody wants to acquire a land with C of O. But do you really know what certificate of occupancy means? I will tell you what it means. Maybe that what has been delaying you from acquiring a plot of land with us. Now, let me tell you the importance of having a land with title C of O. Proof of ownership, resale value, access to loans, ease of transfer, and development opportunities. Did you also know that P1 Plus Business Consign Limited has 5 estates in East Neb with the amazing title C of O? Amazing, right? You don't know, now you know. We have Picture Time by Cedarwood, Lagos State. We have Tribe City by Cedarwood, Lagos State. We have Cedarwood Luxury Apartment and Terraces at Jiapata, Lagos State. We have Cedarwood Luxury Apartment and Terraces at Sabadeta State. And then Billionaire Levy by Cedarwood, Idowash, Delta State. Billionaire Levy by Cedarwood is actually going for the early bird price of 12.5 million. But you know that the price increase taking effect, and it will no longer be 12.5 million, it will be going for the price of 15.5 million naira. If I were you, I would jump on this and grab for myself a plot of land at Billionaire Levy by Cedarwood. Do this today and enjoy absolute peace.
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to a new week. Welcome to a new day. Welcome to Monday, the very 17th. No, is it 17th, 18th day for the month of November? All right, so how many days do we have to Christmas? Hey, ha, ha, he, he. And how many weeks or days do we have to the end of the year? And what have you achieved this year? It's such a delight to come away again this beautiful Monday morning. Trust you had a wonderful night rest, and also trust you had a wonderful weekend. And how is your Monday morning going? It's exactly 6 minutes past the hour of 10. Welcome to the very platform that keeps you abreast of the latest information, news, and stories making the rounds. Should in case you've missed any of the headline stories during the early hours of today, always trust us every Monday morning to keep you abreast, to bring to you, the latest news and happenings, current affairs, from politics to economics to business. Yes, social political affairs as far as it concerns us. All right. So yes, like I said, if you've missed any of headline stories, news during the early hours of today, always trust us to keep you abreast, to also, give you the very latest information that you may have missed, during the early hours of the day, especially every Monday morning. And you also have the opportunity, that is why we have it, talk and the table. All right, we have table talk. It comes your way every Monday morning at 10 a.m. What we do here is very simple. We look into different stories making the rounds. We carefully select a few, bring them to the fore, we talk about them, and also give you the opportunity to talk about them as well. So your opinions, your thoughts are welcome. You can join the conversation via Facebook, either live on Facebook or YouTube via the WhatsApp number scrolling right there on the screen. You can also take advantage of the comment section as well. I'd love to hear from you. Let's know how your Monday morning is going and how you were able to spend your weekend. Were you at home all through, or were you here and there? As usual, we begin the show with a summary of what Nigerian newspapers are talking about. And then we segue to bringing you big stories, big headline stories reported. Big headline stories that the Punch newspaper is reporting. And afterwards, we go into our stories, the various stories that we've selected for discuss this beautiful Monday morning. If wishes were horses, what would be your wish for this beautiful day, for this beautiful week? Let's hear from you. All right, before we go to today's biggest headlines from the Punch, let's quickly begin with a summary of what Nigerian newspapers are talking about. The very first one we have here says the presidential candidate of the new Nigerian People's Party in the 2023 election, Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, on Sunday alleged plans from Lagos to colonize the northern region. He lamented the avalanche of challenges bedeviling the North, including economic crisis, insecurity, poverty, hunger, and different kinds of diseases, saying the situation is not good for the country. Number two, troops from the 6th Brigade of the Nigerian Army in Jalingo, Taraba State, have arrested a suspect who confessed to abducting 20 individuals and extorting 70 million naira in ransom. Captain Oni Olubo Dunde, the acting assistant director of public relations for the brigade, said this in a statement on Sunday. Number three, President Bola Tinubu has urged candidates dissatisfied with the outcome of the Ondo State governorship election to explore the opportunities provided by the judicial system to seek redress. President Tinubu, who congratulated Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa of the All Progressive Congress APC, also commended the peaceful conduct of the process. President Bola Tinubu has departed Nigeria for Brazil to attend the 19th meeting of the G20 Leaders Summit taking place in the South American country. Bayo Onanuga, special advisor to the president on information and strategy, announced this in a statement on Sunday. Number five, quickly, national chairman of the All Progressive Congress and Haji Abdullahi Ganduje says The plot to take over Oyo and Osun State is on. Speaking in an interview with newsmen after the Independent National Electoral Commission declared Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa as winner of the just concluded Ondo election, Ganduje said people of Ondo showed their love for the ruling party through their votes. And then number 6, the Dangote Petroleum Refinery has offered to supply 60 million liters of petroleum motor spirits, popularly called petrol, to the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria weekly, which translates to 240 million liters monthly. It was gathered from the association that the refinery agreed to give 60 million liters of PMS to IPMAN members weekly, depending on patronage. Number 7, 13 internet fraudsters have been sentenced to a combined 30 years in prison following their conviction by an Edo State High Court sitting in Benin City, the state capital. It was gathered from a statement by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission on Sunday that the judgments were delivered in separate proceedings between November 11 and November 14, 2024. Number 8, the All Progressive Congress has won all the 20 local government chairmanship and 236 councillors positions in the council election held in Ogun on Saturday. The chairman of the Ogun State Independent Electoral Commission, Babatunde Oshibodu, announced the results on Sunday at the commission's headquarters in Abeokuta. Number 9, President Bola Tinubu on Sunday conferred the national honor of Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger on visiting Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Tinubu honored the Indian Prime Minister during the Nigeria-Indian bilateral meeting held at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. Number 10, and lastly, the Controller of the Nigeria Immigration Service, NIS, Edo State Command, Martins Moye, has described as alarming the rising numbers of irregular migrants flocking into Nigeria. The controller expressed his concern at the 2024 edition of NIS Enlightenment Campaign against irregular immigration held in Benin City, Edo State. All right, so at this point, that is a summary of what Nigerian newspapers are talking about. We segue to also presenting to you quickly today's biggest headlines from the Punch newspaper. Remember, I said you can always trust us to keep you abreast of latest news, current affairs. If you are one of those that love to, get updates, and you probably have also missed early hours, headline stories, news stories, or current affairs, political affairs, or the affairs that news stories, recent stories. In case you've missed news reports from early hours of the day from various platforms, you can always trust us to keep you abreast at this time. All right, biggest stories from the headlines, today's biggest headlines from the Punch. The very first one I have here says Aiyedatiwa victory. INEC PDP disagree over alleged fraud in Ondo poll. And number 2, Dangote IPMAN signed 240 million liters monthly petrol deal. Minimum wage FG to spend 6.5 trillion naira, says MTEL. Governors threatening reps over Tinubu VAT bill, spokesman. Number 5, top doctor strike threatens operations in 83 federal hospitals. Abiodun Adebutu clash as APC clears Ogun LG seats. FG begins Mpox vaccination in 7 states today. Number 8, FG services IMF orders debt with 1.36 billion DMO report. $1.36 billion DMO report. And then number 9, 3,767 killed in 9 months road crashes. FRSC is reporting. Super Eagles will go for victory against Rwanda. Egwonvon. All right, wherever you are watching under the very sound of my voice, let's know where you're watching us from. Also, feel free to be part of the conversation. Any of the news stories that I've presented to you that is of interest to you, feel free to contribute to any of it. Your opinions, your take is highly welcome at this point. All right, this is the point we take stories. Somebody say story. All right, as we proceed, we're quickly going to take the very first story that we've yes. All right, our very first story is from this day. It says INEC declares APC Ayedatiwa winner of Ondo Poll Party, clears all 18 LGAs. And the questions that is begging for answer is how come? I think Rufai Hosseini posted this and also posted the same thing during one other election that APC won all LGAs. How is that possible? That is the question that begs for answers. Nigerians are asking, how is it possible? How is it possible? One party win all local governments in the states. Oh, yeah, no. All right, it says The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, yesterday declared the candidate of All Progressive Congress, APC, and incumbent governor of Ondo State, Lucky Ayedatiwa, was really lucky. Winner of Saturday's governorship election in the state, Vice Chancellor of the Federal University of Lokoja and returning officer for the poll, Professor Olayemi Akinwumi, announced the results at 2:30 p.m. at the INEC headquarters in Akure. Ayedatiwa won in all the 18 local governments in the state. Congratulatory messages started coming in for the winner soon after his declaration by INEC, with President Bola Tinubu and his predecessor Muhammadu Buhari leading the pack. Interestingly, politicians and party stakeholders never ceased to talk about how Lagos State Governor Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, who chaired the campaign committee of APC for the election, motivated members to victory in an exercise that initially seemed intricate. However, the candidate of People's Democratic Party (PDP), Agbola Ajayi, accused INEC and the security agencies of compromise in the election. Ajayi advised the INEC chairman, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, to resign. Civil society groups, including Human Rights Writers Association of Nigeria, reacted to the outcome of the election, announcing the results. Akinwumi said Ayedatiwa pulled a total of 366,781 votes to defeat his closest rival, Ajayi, who scored 117,845 votes, while ZLP's Dr. Abbas Mimiko, younger brother of former governor of the state, Dr. Olusegun Mimiko, came a distant third with 2,669 votes. He said the total valid votes were 497,077 and rejected votes were 11,886, while total votes cast was 508,963. Akimumi stated that Lucky Ayedatiwa of APC, having satisfied the requirements of the law, is hereby declared the winner and is returned elected. The breakdown of the results showed that in Akoko North East, APC garnered 25,657 votes to defeat PDP, which scored 5,072 votes, and so on and so on and so on and so on. The breakdown. But because of our time, I'll just encourage you to pick up this day and read up on the total breakdown. All right, so let's move on quickly. Yes, sir. We'll take our very next story. Do not forget you can contribute to any of the stories that is of interest to you as we present them to you this morning. PDP slams Tinubu over GCON conferment in India PM. On India PM, that's Prime Minister. PDP slams Tinubu over GCON conferment on India PM. Reading from The Punch. The People's Democratic Party on Sunday faulted President Bola Tinubu for decorating the visiting Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi with the Nigerian second highest national honor of the Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger. Speaking with The Punch on Sunday, the deputy national youth leader of the PDP, Timothy Osadolo, described the president's action as misplaced priority. But the Deputy National Organizing Secretary of the ruling All Progressive Congress, Nze Chidi Duru, kicked, arguing that the president didn't do anything unprecedented. The PDP's criticism comes a few hours after Tinubu conferred Modi with the highest honor in the land during the Nigeria-Indian bilateral meeting held at the presidential Abuja. All right, moving on. Let's move to the very next story. So yeah, so the PDP is coming out to slam Tinubu over the conferment on Indian Prime Minister. Do you think it is worth it, or do you think is, in your own opinion, do you think it's some form of bilateral, as they've said it, or it's just should I use the word eye service? Do you think it is really worth it? I don't know. But then it's all good. I know that irrespective of what the president is doing, and there is a tangible reason for that. All right, let's move to the very next story. This very one here from Daily Trust says presidency mom as Obasanjo IMF slammed Tinubu's reform. The presidency has kept silent on the criticisms of President Bola Tinubu's reform by President Olusegun Obasanjo and the International Monetary Fund. Obasanjo had, according to a statement by his media aide,
Kehinde Akinyemi alleged that Nigeria is currently under a state capture and that the country's situation is bad. The former president was quoted to have said this while delivering in his keynote address at the Chinua Achebe Leadership Forum, Yale University, New Haven, Connecticut, United States. On the other side, the IMF, in its latest Outlook report for Sub-Saharan Africa, said Nigeria is one of the resource-intensive countries in Sub-Saharan Africa struggling to realize gains of its reforms. It said while it's a cherry news in some countries within the region, it is not looking good yet in Nigeria. Attempts by Daily Trust yesterday to get reactions from the presidency met a brick wall as Tinubu's media aide declined comment. The special advisor to the President's Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, and the senior advisor assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Tope Ajayi, could not be reached on their mobile telephone lines and did not reply to text messages sent to them. The senior advisor assistant to the President on print media, Abdulaziz, also neither answered calls nor replied messages sent to their phone lines. However, a source at the State House Daily Trust, on condition of anonymity, that Obasanjo is a statesman and the presidency will not want to join issues with him. The National Secretary Advisor Nahu Ribadu had last Wednesday said President Tinubu's administration has achieved significant progress in tackling insecurity and creating conducive environment for businesses. And my question is, do you agree with this statement that I've just made? Let's move on to the very next story. All right. Let's move to the Vanguard. This time around, Nigerians suffering. Reverse floating of Naira energy cost labor urges Tinubu. Nigerians suffering. Reverse floating of Naira energy cost labor urges Tinubu. Organized labor, a weekend in Ibadan, Oyo State, urged President Bola and Tinubu to reverse the floating of the national currency and energy costs to lessen the hardship across the country. Under the aegis of the National Union of Shop and Distributive Employees, NUSDE, organized labor noted that Nigerians and businesses are passing through very difficult times and that the federal government needs to address the issues urgently before things get out of hand. President of NUSDE, Aminu, who spoke while addressing guests and members of the union at the 6th Quadrennial and 13th National Delegates Conference, NDC, of NUSDC in Ibadan, Oyo State, said Nigerian workers and businesses in the country are facing difficult times because of some of the policies implemented by this government. The cost of energy is provocatively high, and this has affected production, service, and workers' welfare negatively. For instance, there is no justification for petroleum products to be over 1,000 naira, considering Nigeria is an oil and gas producing country, while the purchasing power of Nigerians remains very low. Electricity tariff is also very high. The electricity tariff that increased from 68 naira to 227 naira has also driven the cost of production services and livelihood far beyond the reach of many Nigerians. Since the cost of petroleum, services, and living are rising much higher than the purchasing power of the vast majority, many Nigerians have been forced into poverty and even destitution. Many factories cannot sell their products, and this has led to the collapse of many companies with its attendant job losses. Let's bring you the very next story from the Punch. This time around, Ondopo LP candidate blames Obi and LC for defeat. Let's know how and why. The reinstated Labour Party governorship candidate in Ondo State, Ayodele Olorunfemi, has bemoaned his failure to win Saturday's election, blaming former Anambra State Governor Peter Obi and the Nigerian Labour Congress for his predicament. Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa of the all-ruling Progressive Congress was declared the winner by the Independent National Electoral Commission after sweeping the 18 local government areas in Ondo. In the final declaration of the result by the state returning officer, Prof. Olayemi Akinwumi, he said APC's Aiyedatiwa pulled a total of 366,781 votes to defeat Agbola Ajayi of the PDP, who got 117,845 votes. The returning officer said that Aiyedatiwa Lucky of APC, having satisfied the requirements of the law, is hereby returned elected. Olorunfemi's loss comes a few days after INEC returned his name on the ballot as LP flag bearer for the November 16 poll following the ruling by the Court of Appeal. Following weeks of suspense, Olorunfemi heaved a sigh of relief when the Court of Appeal in Abuja vacated an earlier judgment by the federal government court ordering the electoral empire to recognize Obi's anointed candidate Olushola Ibiseni. Reacting in an interview with The Punch, Olorunfemi vowed not to forgive the former LP presidential candidate and the NLC for the role they played in escorting in his Ondo governorship campaign. So yeah, in a summary, okay, let me just read this one. When asked if he succeeded in having a last-minute door-to-door campaign with his supporters after winning his appeal, a certain LP flag bearer confessed that his campaign for the election was neither here nor there. He said, "I have Peter Obi and the NLC to thank for that. They have scuttled my aspirations and chances to win the Ondo election. These people spoiled things for us with that PDP. These people spoiled things for us with that PDP reject they wanted to force on the party. Okay, their instance on having a Bisheni on the ballot ruined everything for me. They just capitalized on the crisis between the Labour Party and the Nigerian Labour Congress to create problems. Can you imagine that a Bisheni wrote a letter to the court in my name without my knowledge, saying I have withdrawn from the race? They cannot exclude me from such a position." So in other words, there was some form of misunderstanding which was supposed to be dealt with appropriately and as quick as possible, which wasn't resolved, and it affected him. If not, well, he would have won the election. If not for the fact that Peter Obi and the National Labour Congress, is it National Labour Congress? NLC party now. If not for the fact that they did not settle that issue they had with, what's that his name? What is his name? I'm looking for his name now. He called him the rejected person from PDP. I'm looking for his name. Something Sheni now. Ebi Sheni. Labour Party, Jare. Labour Party, yes, I was trying to talk about Labour Party. LP. LP. If not for the fact that LP and Peter Obi and the leaders of who is Aiyedatiwa? Who is the other one from PDP that could 2 seconds? This guy would have beat all of their hands down. But bros, don't worry. Next election, you will win. I try, you win. Is it not you? You win, Jare. Let's take this very one. People are threatening people. Governors threatening reps over Tinubu VAT bill spokesman. The deputy spokesman for the House of Representatives, Mr. Philip Agbese, has disclosed that some state governors are threatening to deny federal lawmakers return tickets in the 2027 general elections if they do not withdraw their support for President Bola Tinubu tax reform bill now before the National Assembly for consideration. So they are saying, if they burn you now where? If they burn you where? Don't withdraw your support for President Bola Tinubu's tax reform bills now. Don't withdraw it. If they burn you now where? Come 2027, we will unseat you, deseat you, and what other word can I use now? Now, it says, recall that on September 3rd, 2024, the president transmitted 4 tax reform bills to the National Assembly for consideration following the recommendations of the Oyedele-led Tax Reforms Committee. The bill includes the Nigerian Tax Bill 2024, which is expected to provide the fiscal framework for the taxation in the country, and the Tax Administration Bill, which will provide a clear and concise legal framework for all taxes in the country and reduce disputes. Others are the Nigeria Revenue Service Establishment Bill, which will repeal the Federal Inland Revenue Service Act and establish the Nigerian Revenue Service, and the Joint Revenue Board Establishment Bill, which will create a tax tribunal and a tax ombudsman. The 36 state governors have, however, demanded the withdrawal of the executive bills, citing the need for more consultation and public input. In the meantime, the president has rejected the Council of Governors, insisting that amendments to some of the clauses can be made within the bill when the bill comes up for debate in the Senate and the House of Representatives. Let me talk it like an Ambala man. Representative. All right, at that point, is that at that point or at this point? We take our very last story, and this time around is really not a good one from BBC. Let's just take something from the abroad foreign affair in a manner. Top radio host, and maybe, I don't know, maybe it's because of this. So, top radio host charged with sexually abusing 8 people. Veteran Australian broadcaster and former Wallabies coach Alan Jones have been charged with sexually abusing 7 men and a 17-year-old boy. Oh boy. That's massive. The 83-year-old was taken to custody at his Sydney apartment early on Monday morning as detectives from the New South Wales Police Child Abuse Squad searched the harbourfront property and seized electronic devices. Mr. Jones is one of Australia's most influential media figures and has previously denied allegation of abuse first published by the Sydney Morning Herald in 2023. He now faces 24 charges over alleged incidents between 2001 and 2019, including 11 counts of aggravated indecent assaults. All the charges except 2 of common assaults are sex offenses. Police said some of the alleged victims knew the radio titan personally, and that at least one had been employed by him. Others were allegedly assaulted the first time they met him. NSW Police Michael Fitzgerald told reporters, "I wish to commend the victims and their bravery in coming forward. They have now got the ability to have a voice. This is what they've been asking for," he said. Commissioner Karim Webb earlier said people had conducted a very complex, protracted and thorough investigation, and the expected alleged victims may now come forward. There's no such as a matter that's too old to be investigated, she said at a press conference. You will be listened to, and we will take your matter seriously. Mr. Jones has been granted conditional bail and will face court on 18 December. A former teacher, Mr. Jones, coached Australia's national rugby union team between 1984 and 1988 before pivoting to a radio career. All right, and this is the point. We call it a day on the table talk, and that's a very, very much that is the size of that we can take this morning. Thank you very much. It has been a wonderful time. I hope somebody has you kind of feel it just gives you this special feeling when you're updated, when you know the recent happenings. All right, so we'll be back at 1 p.m. and this time around we'll be bringing you updates as regards real estate. The real estate market trends, 1 p.m. See you again. All right, before we leave, I want to use this opportunity to send a congratulatory message to our Ambassador, Professor Julius Oyedemi, JP, on your appointment as the Acting Group Managing Director, P1. A big congratulations to you, my boss. Thank you for all you have been and all you do. More grace, more favor, more opportunities, more platforms. A big congratulations. Come on, everybody, help me celebrate my Oga. Yeah.
Nigeria's first real estate radio.
How do you feel about your physical education that I've done for you here today?
I'm so happy and excited. This estate was just launched on 27th of September, just last week here. And my client made payments on Monday and he's getting his physical allocation today. I'm so happy and I'm grateful to P1 Plus for keeping their words.
Wow, that was a very nice feedback. So, Landrich Lily, what do you have to say to other people out there about P1 Plus as a whole?
All right, what I have to say to those guys out there, those clients who have not really bought from P1 Plus, and this to tell you that we keep to our words. As you make your payment, you are getting an instant allocation. In fact, I told you guys before it's 1 week. This one is just 3 days. They will call you for physical allocation. If you make payments, you get your physical allocation instant.
That's a very nice feedback. You can see she's very happy.
Yeah, so happy.
Thank you.